The story that I'll be telling today is called The Weeping Woman, otherwise known as La Llorona. Now, I've heard this story in many different versions, but I'll be telling the most generic version that is told to kids today. It starts out with a beautiful woman named Maria, who was born and raised in Mexico. One day she's walking around the plaza and she notices a beautiful, wealthy man walking. They meet eyes, and one thing led to another, and they ended up falling in love. They got married and decided that they wanted to grow themselves a small family. So they end up moving to a little cottage at the edge of the city near a nice flowing river. They have 3 baby boys over the span of 6 years. Now one day Maria wakes up, looks to the side, and she notices that her husband isn't in bed with her. So she gets up and walks out of the cottage in her white nightgown and walks to the nearest part of the city. She sees him far away with another woman, a skinnier, prettier, younger woman. Enraged at this, she goes back to the cottage and waits for him. He comes in about an hour later, drunk and stumbling. She yells at him and confronts him. "Have you been cheating on me? What's wrong with me?" He tells her, "Yes, I've been. You're getting fat. You've gotten old, and I don't want to deal with these kids anymore. She doesn't have kids. I'd rather be with her." And with that, he leaves. Enraged at him and wanting for him to stay with her, she does whatever she can because she just loves him too much. She wakes up the 3 little boys and walks them to the river. And one by one, she pushes them into the river. The little boys didn't know how to swim, so they were screaming and crying for their parents, but in the end, they ended up all drowning. Happy with what she's done, she went back to the cottage and finds him sitting on the bed. He asks her, "Where are my children? What did you do with them?" And she proudly tells him, "I went and I drowned them so that we can be together and we can be in love." And with that, he ends up leaving her. He tells her that "You shouldn't have done this. I'm going to go be with that other woman." And he leaves. Now, Maria, sitting there thinking about what she's done, starts crying and runs back to the river, looking for her children. My kids, what happened to my kids?" She dives into the water to try and find their bodies, but the current ends up pushing her away from shore, and she drowns. Now, there's not a quite good ending to this. Even though it's just a story, many people have said that when you walk by rivers late at night, you'll hear her calling out for her children. A lot of people have seen her stand over the river, looking down, looking for people, asking if they found her children. Now, one thing you shouldn't do is do any type of contact with her, because she'll think that you murdered her children, and then you'll be the one drowning. Thank you.